Good morning, crochetpreneurs, crochet business owners, sellers, vendors, all you folks who are crochet lovers and turning your love of crochet into a business. Happy to have you here. Today we are going to be talking about the top 10 mistakes, errors, things that crochet sellers make. Sometimes newbies make these mistakes, and sometimes people who've been selling for a really long time make these mistakes. So we're going to go over these today and talk about what to do instead. So I hope you will stay to the end. The last one, I think, is the one that sabotages the most business owners and causes the most business failures for crochet business owners. So I want you to stick around till the end. And if you're watching live, after I finish, I'll answer some of your questions. So be sure to write down your questions and I will be back to answer those for you. If you are new here, my name is Pam Grice, the Crochetpreneur, and I'm on a mission to help 100,000 crocheters find financial freedom through crochet. So whether you're a designer or a product seller or even a tech editor or other kind of service provider for crochet business owners, I'm here to help. So I'm happy to have you. Be sure to like this video, whether you're watching live or on replay, because it will kick it out to more people and we'll be able to get a larger reach more people, help more people make money, and grow our mission here on YouTube. And on our podcast. So we're recording live and live streaming on YouTube, but this will be turned into a podcast as well. So like, subscribe, and let's get started. All right. So the first mistake that crochet sellers make is underpricing. So while yes, some people overprice, the majority of people coming into the industry are underpricing their products in a way that sabotages their success by limiting profits. So if you don't account for your time, if you don't account for your business expenses, if you don't account for markup and profit, your business will not grow and eventually it just won't pay off for you. And so we need those profits in order to build our excitement in our business, in order to reinvest in our business, and in order to grow. So if we're just out there saying, what are other people charging? I'll charge less than that in hopes that I'm going to make some sales. That usually backfires on you because your lower prices is perceived by the customer as an indication of the value of your products. So if you don't value your products, you don't value your time, you don't value your skill, the customer is going to naturally feel the same. So be careful about underpricing. I do have a free product pricing calculator that you can find down in the description of this YouTube video and in the show notes of the podcast. And it will help you input those numbers. Some people don't want to charge for time because they are a slow crocheter, things like that. The calculator also gives you an option to charge per stitch or per yard of yarn. So whichever way you want to do it, you can input those numbers and it will spit out a suggested pricing for you, both for wholesale and retail. And then if you don't want to sell wholesale and the retail price feels too high for you, you can go ahead and just pick something in between that feels reasonable to you. That calculator will also give you a chart that shows you exactly, based on how much you're charging, what your profit will be. And that profit you can either pocket or reinvest in your business. And it gives you choices and freedom. So be careful about underpricing and experiment with that whole customer perception, pricing, alignment. All right. So don't be afraid to experiment. The next one is branding or a lack of it. Now, a lot of people are like, I'm a hobbyist. I just want to, go to craft fairs, put my stuff on a table and sell. And that's fine, but it's really not fine. Sorry. I shouldn't say it's fine. It's not going to get you very far. So people want to know that you're a professional. If if they see you as sort of a flea market seller, they're going to expect flea market chart or prices, and they're not going to want to pay you, and you're not going to make a profit. But if you set up your market booth or you set up your online shop in such a way that says, hey, I'm a professional, it really helps the customer to build that trust in your business, where they're more willing to give you money and more willing to sort of invest in your skills. So this includes your messaging about who you are, what is your unique selling proposition, what's special about your business, who are you making for. So creating that sort of tagline around your business name. Creating a business name that really speaks to your ideal customer is really important. Creating a sort of cohesive brand where you have, your logo, you have some sort of image. Perhaps you don't necessarily need one. I don't actually recommend that people pick out a graphic image to go with their logo in the beginning, because everyone just picks the same yarn and hook image off of Canva, and everyone's business looks the same. But if you use a custom font that's easy to get online, you can get a commercial license for a font and create a logo for your business that looks unique and stands out, and that really speaks to your ideal customer. And then build your brand around that, and be sure to have a tagline that speaks specifically to your customer, that says, like, easy modern crochet patterns for the busy mom, or whoever your ideal customer is. Like, let them know what you sell and who it's for in your tagline, and that will really help when you are setting up your booth at a craft fair or setting up your online shop. You have that logo, you have that cohesive, icon, you have a banner on your booth, you have some cohesive colors, you have price tags that match your logo as well. When you sell online and you ship things, you have a little thank you card insert, or you have a little sticker. All of these things match and are cohesive, and that will help speak to the professionalism of your brand, and it will allow you to charge more because it increases that perceived value. And like I said, it increases trust with your customers. So many people put this off until they feel like official or like they're making a profit already, and it really doesn't take that much time to just hop on Canva and create your, Coca-Cola, right? Super, you see that font and it's a Coca-Cola font. Disney has a font that you recognize as theirs. Try and figure out a way to do the similar thing for your business and create that branding and that professionalism around your business. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3 is poor merchandising, both on and offline. Now, this can look different based on your business, where you're selling. If it's in person, if you're selling in person at a craft fair or at a pop-up shop or at a consignment market or at a boutique, if you are not merchandising your products, if you're just laying them flat out on a table and being like, here they are, you're not going to entice those customers. A, again, it doesn't look professional. And B, customers have this expectation that they're just used to when they go to a boutique or they go to a store. Things are merchandised in such a way that it bounces the eye around the booth. It helps lead them to the products that you want to sell to them. It groups like products together, or it will group bundled products together. It uses height, it uses lighting, it uses color. All of those things are really important when you are setting up your booth. So consider looking online. Just search online how to merchandise a craft booth, and you'll find all sorts of suggestions out there that you can look at to set up a booth that's really beautiful. And then online, what people often do is they either take poor quality photos or they don't take enough photos. And so they don't show the product from all angles. People don't know what to expect because they can't see the product. We have to remember that when we're selling online, people can't touch. they can't feel, they can't try on the things that we're selling. And so your photos really serve as that, engaging all of the senses visually. So you're looking at trying to capture texture, trying to capture how soft something is, showing how it looks from all different angles. So be sure as you're taking your photos, use good lighting. There's lots of tutorials again online on how to take photos, even with your iPhone, to get the best photos for your products. Photographing crochet is difficult. It's hard to capture texture and it's hard to capture color and get it just right. So practice. There's lots of courses out there that can help with this. If you have a favorite course that you've taken, go ahead and mention it in the comments and let other people know. I know Amy Eaton has a course. There's somebody named Michelle out there. I can't remember her business name. But if you know of a photography course for handmade sellers, that would be helpful. So merchandising on and offline, super important. Okay, next one is not understanding or not even establishing their target market. So what this looks like is they just make what they want to make and throw it out there. They don't have messaging around that. They're just like, I don't know. What do I have right now in front of me? Okay. Oh, look at the Christmas stocking I made. Isn't it cute? You should buy it. Instead of, hey mamas, look at this cute little stocking I made. It's perfect for little gift cards or class gifts or teacher gifts or something like that. You're talking to your ideal customer. If my ideal customer was mamas of littles or mamas of kids in elementary school, I could talk about that when I'm talking about this product. And it's the same for any business. When you know your ideal customer, you know your messaging. And when you know your ideal customer and your target market, you can develop your product line in such a way that it really appeals to that audience. And you're not just making stuff and throwing it out there and hoping that it sells. You actually have a really concrete strategy, and you can do market research. You can reach out to those ideal customer, people that you know or people that you find online that meet your ideal customer avatar. Reach out to them and find out, what are you loving right now? What are your pain points? What are you struggling with when you're looking for Christmas presents or around the house, or when you're looking for fashion items, those kinds of things, and then create products that meet their needs, and then speak to those needs in your messaging when you create the product. All of this is really powerful for making sales rather than just saying, look at this thing that I made, which I see so many people doing online. They'll just post the thing and be like, I made this hat, you should buy it. I made this stocking, you should buy it. I made this ornament, isn't it cute? Rather than really telling the customer how this is going to improve their life, how it's going to bring them joy, how it's going to, spark their kids' creativity, or it's going to make them feel beautiful and cozy, or whatever it is. That is the selling proposition of your pattern. Sorry, I need to move my camera just a little. Is that better? So there's that. Consider who your target audience is. I really encourage people to niche down. You don't have to get micro niche, to the point where you're like, I only sell hats to women who have full-time jobs and whatever. You don't have to get that specific, but knowing like, I create fashion accessories, or I create Ami stuffies, or I create home decor, or I create products for such and such a kind of person, right? And that gives you kind of a wider berth of products that you can design for them. But just knowing their life, knowing the things that they love, knowing what they'll spend money on is really important. That's number 4. Okay, number 5, neglecting SEO. This happens, of course, this is online. In person, this doesn't matter. But online, when you are creating listings and, let's say, okay, I'm just going to go back to the stocking because it's what I have close to me. This launches on Monday if you want, next Monday. What was I saying? Oh, SEO. I could call this the hanging by the fire sock. And then when I put it up on my Etsy listing, I call it hanging by the fire sock. And then I add my description and I put it up for sale. And the problem is that there's nobody going onto Etsy or going onto Google and searching for hanging by the fire sock. And so when we name our patterns and we use that pattern as the only title in our product listings, we really sabotage our growth because it doesn't speak to search engine optimization. We want to tell the search engine what we're actually selling. So instead, for that stocking, I would say mini Christmas stocking, Christmas stocking teacher gift, or something like that, where I'm using keywords that people are going to actually search for in order to find it. So using a tool like eRank or Marmalade can really help you to home in on your SEO for your Etsy listings or your online listings in order to get your things found. So be careful about using the product name, your cutesy product name, as your title for the product. Instead, go for something that's more keyword rich and something that people are going to search for when they search that product online. Next is mismanaging inventory. This encompasses a lot of different things. This could be you don't even track inventory. So you don't have a spreadsheet out there that says, like, I have this many hats of this style and it was made from this yarn and this is the cost that I have in there, or this is the yarn that I have and this is how much I paid for it. You need to be tracking your inventory of yarn and your inventory of products in order that you have your bookkeeping square. Okay, now I'm not a bookkeeping expert. There are people out there that can help you with that better than I can, but you need to be tracking those numbers. It's what businesses do. Businesses track their numbers. And another way that inventory is mismanaged is that you just make the things and you bring them with you, but you don't track exactly what is selling. So you don't have that data to say, oh, I put all my hats in the other room. I have this hat and in this color, and this one always sells first at my craft fairs. So maybe I need to make more of that at my next craft fair. Or this color is a higher seller with all of my products than any of the other colors. Well, now I know that so that I can make more inventory in that color for future craft fairs. So tracking your inventory and your sales down to product, color, size. I think those are probably the top three: product, color, and size, so that you can know for each craft fair, A, what's sold and what needs to be replaced, and B, what's popular and maybe what you should make more of for your next fairs. So I typically have a list of products that I make 2 or 3 of that same product. So when the first one sells, I can replace it because I know that it's going to be popular. I have certain colors that I know are always going to sell out. And, just a tip on that, when you have those things that you know are going to sell, what I do is I merchandise those particular products on a mannequin, and people will just buy it off the mannequin and then I'll replace it and they'll buy it off the mannequin. People typically want to buy what's on the mannequin because they see how it looks. They see the hat, scarf, and gloves together. They see the headband and gloves together. Or headband and scarf together. And when they see them like that, even just on a mannequin head, they're more likely to purchase it than if it's just sitting there. So I bring a lot of mannequin heads with me, probably 10, to sprinkle around my booth and to merchandise the products. And my products are mix and match. So I'll have hats, scarves, gloves, cowls, those kinds of things mixed and matched on all of the mannequin heads. And typically people will buy just off the mannequin. So anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with inventory. Anyway, track your inventory, know your data, and that helps you make wiser decisions about the products that you make in the future. Number 7 is not engaging with customers. This is in person. Now, I'm not saying accost your customers every time they come in your booth. Say hi, let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer for you, and then leave them alone. But typically, so what I'm talking about when I'm talking not engaging with customers, it's when people reach out to you and to ask questions and you don't respond, or you don't follow up on the back end. I have that as another mistake, so we'll get there. But just like really seeing your customers as friends and people, and people that you want to connect with, rather than seeing them as ATMs. A lot of times people will see their customers as ATMs and treat them as such. Well, if you're not going to give me money right now, I'm not going to talk to you. Or stop asking me questions and just buy something. And just be really careful about your own centeredness, I guess I would say, when you're in that selling position. And then I also want to warn about scammers. Don't get so desperate for a sale that you're starting to make unwise decisions about people who do reach out online. So if you're selling on Facebook in particular, this happens a lot with you put up a post and someone says, is this available? And you're so excited about that potential sale that you miss all the red flags of someone who's trying to scam you. So I always have the messaging around, I only sell on Etsy. So yes, this is available. Here's a link to the listing on Etsy if you'd like to purchase it. And then just leave it at that. And if they don't want to purchase it where I'm selling it, then I don't negotiate with them, because a lot of people will try and get you to give them your PayPal information, and then things go wrong from there. So just be careful about that. All right. Next is failing to plan for busy season. I think the first year people go into business in the crochet world, if they're doing things right, busy season is it like shows up like, okay, just for example, we got this huge snowstorm. We got like almost 3 feet of snow in Colorado just a couple days ago. And if we didn't know it was coming, we wouldn't have been prepared, right? We wouldn't know to like get the sheep in, get the heaters and all of the water barrels and all of that stuff. And it's the same thing with crochet business, is if you don't realize the storm that's coming during busy season and you don't prepare for that, you could get yourself into a mess. And so a lot of times that looks like you get more orders online than you expected and you don't know how to fulfill them, or you don't make enough inventory for your craft fairs and you end up selling out, and that never feels good. It feels good on one hand, but it doesn't feel good when you realize you could have sold so much more, but you didn't have the inventory. So understanding what busy season actually looks like, and then how to manage that based on what are you going to do with your kids? How are you going to plan meals? Because you are typically, for product sellers, going to be making in all of your waking hours. You're going to be creating inventory, whether it's online sales or for upcoming craft fairs. And so recognizing that and then planning around that and saying, how am I going to manage my home? How am I going to manage my family? How am I managing all of the other stuff while I am, head down crocheting hardcore for the next 3 months? So using the slower season to actually build up some of that inventory is a really good idea. I usually get burnt out after like my busy season. I stop in December with my physical product sales. And then I just ignore all of that until July. And then I just have fun with designing and stuff. But then in July, I get to work making inventory. So when September hits, I have July and August. I've already created a bunch of inventory and I'm ready. And then during the week in between craft fairs, I have my list of what sold and I just recreate those products for the next craft fair. So I keep this running inventory And I create my product line in such a way that I can finish products in an hour. So even if I sold 100 items, I could make up that um, between week to week of one craft fair to the next craft fair. 100 items would be about $4,000 to $5,000 in sales typically. And so I typically did between $2,000 and $4,000 in sales. So anyway, having that, all of that, so that you're just doing fill-in work in between your craft fairs rather than playing catch up all season long feels really overwhelming. So make a plan for busy season. All right, number 9, we're almost there. Number 9, skipping follow-up or getting people on an email list. So follow-up would look like with people who buy online, reaching out to them after the product's been delivered and say, hey, I see that your product's been delivered. I hope it arrived safely. Please let me know. I'd love to hear how you love your item. Be sure to leave a review if you love it. If you have any problems, though, reach out to me and we'll do what we can to make it a 5-star experience for you. Those kinds of things. Following up with the customer, don't just ship the product and then act like the customer doesn't exist. Even on Etsy, you are allowed to send a follow-up email as long as it's related to the purchase. So you're not sending a follow-up email saying, hey, now that you have your thing, do you want this other thing? Or get on my list so I can promote to you. Those kinds of things. You're actually speaking to the customer about their purchase. I saw that it arrived. Let me know if there's any trouble. I'd love to hear how you love your item. I always say, I'd love to hear how you love your item instead of saying, let me know if there's a problem or something like that. Like you want to lead them towards, you love this thing and you're going to give me a good review. Anyway, so not doing that bit. And then also when you're selling in person, not getting those people on your email list. So what you want to do is when they make a purchase, get them on your email list and follow up with them later and say, thank you so much for purchasing a product from us at such and such a craft fair. We can't wait to see your photos online of you wearing your product or of the person you're gifting it to. Let us know how much they loved it. Leave us a review, that kind of thing. So you're reaching out to them on an email list later. Doing that gives you the opportunity to reach out to them next year when you're doing that same craft fair, or to just send out an event saying, hey, you purchased from us last year, or you expressed interest in our business last year by hopping on our email list. Here's all the events we're doing this year. We hope to see you there. Here's, if you mention that you're on the list, you get a 10% off coupon or something like that. So it gives you that opportunity to re-engage that customer and build that trust with them. And then, throughout the year, you can just send them fun emails based on your ideal customer. So whoever your ideal customer is, sending them emails of things that they love. Like it could even be recipes. It could be, geeky content, our favorite books for geeks, our favorite movies, or things like that. It could be fashion tips. It could be photography tips. My ideal customer is like Instagram moms. So they purchase products from me and immediately get on Instagram and share their photos. And then their friends come and buy from me. So I always encourage them with photography tips and, let them know that I see them on Instagram. I see what's going on with their lives. And that really helps to build that rapport so that when they come to the next craft fair, they want to buy everything that's new. So that is really important and something that a lot of physical product sellers neglect. Okay, finally, here's the big one. Number 10 is seeking advice from random strangers on the internet. So people have gotten mad at me for saying this before, but going into crochet groups, not particularly sellers, but just random crochet groups, and saying, how much should I sell this for? Or what do you think would be a good seller at craft fairs? Or is it smart to sell on Etsy? Or what is everybody making for whatever? What do you think my customers would like? All of these questions that you're asking random strangers, you're going to get the most negative feedback out there. So you're going to hear from people who hate Etsy. You're going to hear from people who have not made money selling crochet. You're going to hear from people who don't value what you're selling and that want to pay the lowest possible price for whatever it is that you're making. So the feedback that you're going to get is not helpful. And actually, so many people listen to this advice and it sabotages their future success in business. Typically, specifically, those people who say, you can't make money with crochet. No one's going to be buying handmade products. Nobody values what you're doing. And it's just impossible to make a profit. Those people are very, very vocal, right? They're typically angry and very vocal, and they want to take down anybody else with a dream. Okay. Maybe they don't realize that's what they're trying to do, but that is what they're doing. And so when you listen to them, you have their voice in the back. This is not going to work. I can't do this. People don't value my stuff. Even to the point where people start treating their customers like their enemy, right? They don't care about me. They don't want to pay what I need to charge. People come into my booth and are like, I could make that at home. I don't get people stating factual information is not offensive. So saying I could make that is like, awesome. Let's be crochet friends. Follow me on Instagram. Like when we get into the space where everyone out there is now our enemy, it really becomes a problem as a business owner. And like all of these negative voices are so pervasive online that if you start listening to them, it will tank your business because you're going to subconsciously make this become a reality. So instead, what to do is follow people who are actually doing it. All right. Not in a way that you're going to compare yourself to them. You're going to copy them. You're going to feel less than them, but in a way that shows you it is possible, shows you strategies that work, encourages you to keep moving forward, right? So you can come join my Facebook group, which is called Crochet Business Chat. And you could find us, on Facebook. There are other groups as well that are very empowering, very positive, and very fact-based rather than emotion-based. And really, it's important that you don't put so much weight on the people who have not done what you want to do and put more weight on the experiences and ideas of people who have done what you want to do. And surround yourself with people who are successful. And as you do that, you will be drawn into that momentum, upward momentum rather than downward momentum. So that is my biggest encouragement when I see people asking, how much should I charge for the giving away their power, right? Totally giving away their power, not being the boss of their business and totally just saying, everyone else tell me what to do. This is not what a business owner does. This is not what a successful business owner does. So start stepping into your role as CEO and as decision maker. Experiment with things. Don't be afraid of the struggle. You're going to experiment with things, see what works, see what doesn't work, and do more of what works. Okay. And again, surround yourself with people who are making money, and you'll get drawn into their momentum too. And that's my biggest piece of advice. So if you want to learn more secrets of profitable crochet business owners, register for my masterclass, 7 Secrets Profit Making Crochetpreneurs. I'll spell out kind of who I am, what my backstory is, and resources that I have available to you after I tell you the 7 secrets of how to make your business more profitable. So that link is either in the description or the show notes. And then don't forget the free download of the product pricing calculator, and that will help you to price your products in a reasonable way. So let's check out our comments, see who's here, and see if we have any questions. So yes, Michelle is here. What is this? Maui Lime. Hi. Angela. Hi there. She sells on Etsy. Awesome. And to folks awesome. That's great. Let's see. Made with Love and Fibers. I haven't tried a photography course, but Diane Levine Knits. She makes circular knitting machine patterns, has a nice YouTube video on photographing yarn craft. Awesome. Okay, so check out Diana Levine Knits. That's great. Jamie from Hearts and Hook is here. Hi. So glad to see you all. Does anybody have any last questions about selling crochet products? If not, I'm going to go work on my blog. I've been doing a lot of SEO work on my blog and it's working. And I ran a blog hop, or Helen, who works for me, ran a blog hop on my blog last week, and my ad revenue tripled for the last 2 weeks, which is nice. It is the season. Let's see. It's a really good reminder for us how to put different perspective with regard to our competitors and fellow crafters. Awesome. Hi, Annie. All right. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Get back to work. Crochet. If you need something to binge watch while you're crocheting for your holiday craft fair makes, binge watch Crochetpreneur on YouTube. There's lots of videos here, lots of different playlists for you. I would just turn it on and watch for a while because that helps us out. All of your watch time, all of your like hanging out for those ads is all beneficial and helps to support the work that we're doing here at Crochetpreneur. So I appreciate you. I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you're having an amazing, busy season. Those of you that are watching live, it is the midst of it right now. We're middle of November. People are buying. People are thinking about Christmas. So I hope you're doing great. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go work on my blog, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. And I will see you next week for Crochet Business Chat. Talk to you later. Bye.